fingers are caught inside my sweater. Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys are having a lovely, wonderful, fantastic day. This video is brought to you by Squarespace, the all-in-one platform to help build a beautiful online presence and help run your business. Alright you guys, so in this video I'm going to be sharing a bit of exciting news, and I'm also going to be doing a little bit of a Q&A. I have been kind of absent, just a little bit absent, for the month of October, which this is like my favorite time of year, so sorry I've not been putting out, you know, like spooky content or something. I'm not really sure how spooky subscription boxes can get unless, you know, it's like a we please disaster of a subscription box. So I asked you guys actually like quite a while ago now on my Instagram just for some questions so we could sit down and chit chat. I was gonna film that video then, but there's a little thing that prevented me from being able to do that. So I'm just gonna go through and answer a couple of questions and then we can get to the exciting news. I hope you guys are excited too. I'm honestly probably only gonna do a few questions because I'm too excited to tell you guys my news. So let's just do a couple real fast here and then we'll get to chit-chatting about it. So the first question is how has 2021 been treating you so far? And I have to say, not too shabby. It's been pretty good. 2020 was a dumpster fire, as we all know, but in comparison, 2021 has been much better. The next question is, are you going back to Europe? And yes, hopefully I will be actually pretty soon. More on that to come. Is Mr. Steve doing all right? He certainly is. He is home with his parents being all cute and floofy. The next question is, what's your favorite thing about fall? And I just love everything about fall. It smells a certain way, like there's a fall smell in the air. It's like a crispness with the leaves, and sometimes there's like, you know, the smell of burning from like campfires and stuff. I love the temperature. I love wearing my old man sweaters all year round, but in fall they make sense. I like all of your basic stuff, your pumpkin spice, your pumpkin patch, your pumpkin lattes, your pumpkin everything. That's when I get to go see the goats at the pumpkin patch. It's just a beautiful time of year, which I'll probably be telling you guys in just a second here. A little story about this past fall. And then finally, the last question that I'm going to answer really fast, which might not be a surprise if you guys have like seen the thumbnail or like taken any like vibes that you're getting from this video right now. But the last question is, are you engaged? And the answer to that is, yes, I am. Alright you guys, this like little Q&A was just to like have a segue into it, telling you guys that I am engaged. It just happened a few weeks ago. I wanted to tell you guys sooner. I wanted to make this video so quickly, but we did send the ring off to get resized. I wanted to wait to have the ring back before I told you guys about everything. I'm very excited to be able to tell you guys about this. I am incredibly happy, and yeah, so I just wanted to share it with you guys. You guys are my little YouTube family here. I want to tell you guys the story of how it happened and everything because I think it's incredibly cute and personal and sweet and just very thought out. So yeah, that is what this video is going to be. This is my engagement announcement. But first, before we get into the story and everything, I want to say thank you to our sponsor, Squarespace. It turns out weddings are very expensive. So thank you so very much to Squarespace for sponsoring this video and helping me to fund my wedding. I have personally used Squarespace to create a unique, personal, customizable website for my business, my vintage store that I own in my town. But you absolutely do not have to own or run a business to have a Squarespace site. Squarespace is perfect for anyone looking for a place to be able to build an online presence, showcase yourself or your work, or just honestly anything you're passionate about. In addition to using Squarespace for my business, I'm also going to be using it to create my wedding website, so my guests have like everything located in one convenient online site. No matter what you're using Squarespace for, getting started is so super easy. All you have to do is select one of the mini starter layouts, and from there you can add or remove sections and pages, insert your own photos into galleries, add text and links. You can even connect your socials for a more personal feel. And once you're done creating your site, you can rest assured that it's going to look great across all devices because every design has a built-in mobile site. Whatever you are passionate about, Squarespace has all the tools you need to create a beautiful online website to showcase it. So check out squarespace.com for a free trial, and then when you're ready to launch, go to squarespace.com/Alexandria for 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. And just thank you so very much to Squarespace for sponsoring this video. Alright you guys, so I am so excited to finally be able to tell you the story of my engagement and stuff. I will talk to my fiance, which is still very strange for me to say, and see if he's okay with me inserting like clips and little pictures and things like that from the day of the engagement. I'll be sure to show you guys like close-ups of the ring and stuff later, but I do kind of want to start off like earlier on. So we were at the mall a little while ago, like a few months ago, and we're just kind of like casually strolling around, and he sees a K Jewelers and he's like, you want to go in? Now granted, before this we have like kind of like discussed it a little bit and stuff, but I was like, Yeah, I do. So we went in and I'm a ball of nerves. Of course, what else would I be? I'm a ball of nerves. Like my hands are a little clammy and a little damp. You know, I'm trying like on these rings. They're beautiful. All of them are so beautiful. But I did have something very particular in mind, like when I thought about what kind of a ring I would want. And the one that I ended up just falling in love with, and so did he, was absolutely different than what I thought I wanted. I wanted a skinny plain band with a singular diamond and like a square kind of princess cut, and that's not what I ended up with, but again, I'll show you guys that later. So we had that little experience. It was really fun to try on the rings and stuff, but we left there with nothing, of course, that day. Like, yeah, I thought, you know, we're just kind of having fun. Nothing really to it. We left there and we just kind of, you know, walked around the mall some more, and then, you know, I kind of mentioned the ring a few times after that, just like, wow, that was a really pretty ring. But again, I didn't really think anything would come of it. It was just kind of fun to do. So a little while had passed. This was probably like a month and a half ago or something. We were sitting on the couch and he looked at me and he said, okay, so on our anniversary in October, which is on the 9th, I want us to have like a full fall day, like a full day of everything that you love. He knows that I absolutely love fall, as you guys do too. I just discussed, I love all the basic things that people get made fun of at fall. I love it. I think it's so much fun. It brings me so much joy. Like, I love it, and he knows that, and I love that he knows that. So he decided that we were going to get pumpkin spice lattes. We were going to go to the pumpkin patch so I could see my goats and pick out some pumpkins. We were going to go to like a haunted house. We were going to watch spooky movies. Just everything that I love in one day, and I was very excited about that. And he made that plan like a month and a half before it was going to happen. He like took off work and everything. It was very planned out, and I was like, wow, like that's a really fancy anniversary. I didn't necessarily think that this is what was going to happen on that day. I just thought it was like a very nicely planned anniversary, and we were gonna have a great day. So the day of the 9th comes, and I woke up early to like try to, you know, get myself primed and cute before we went on our big anniversary day. I had bought a new dress and stuff, and I was really excited. And the first thing that happened was when we got in the car, he handed me a stack of envelopes, and they were numbered with tasks.
So today is the day. I have got everything ready, I think. Stuff made out, moved outside, set up and ready for the evening. I got her little tasks here. As far as I know, she has no idea that is going to happen today. So we'll see how we go.
So I opened up the first one and he had me read it aloud, and he was filming it, and what he had done, which was so cute, he had planned out tasks for me to complete at each of the little things we were going to do that day. And the reason he did that is because he knows that I love the show Taskmaster, which I've talked about on here before with you guys, and a lot of you guys like it too. I know you love your show Taskmaster, so in order for you to get your gift, I've made up some tasks for you to do before you get it. So get ready, and remember, I love you and good luck. Love, your mom. So he got that idea from Taskmaster, which I thought was really cute and personal. He hand wrote out like all of the notes and stuff, the tasks for me to do. So the first thing we were doing that day was going to a nice brunch. I'm not really sure if I've ever like been to a brunch, but we have this place in our town called First Watch, and that's kind of what they do. They're like a breakfast brunch place. And that was my first time going there, so we pulled into the parking lot and he had me read the first task. And the first task was basically that I had to let him pay for all of our meals that day. But if you want your gift, you have to let me, I don't know! You have to let me pay for all of our meals today. Loves you. We always kind of like go back and forth with like who's paying. I'm like, I'm paying. He's like, no, I'm paying. And I told him I wanted to buy breakfast for us as like a little tiny anniversary gift for me, since he was doing all this for us. But then I read that first task, and in order to get my gift at the end, I had to let him pay for breakfast. So we went in and we had a really lovely breakfast. I actually met one of you guys there. You were our server that day. It was so incredibly nice to meet you. You were so very sweet. But we had our very filling breakfast. And then it was time to leave and head on to the next task. So we get back in the car, and my next task was to get a pumpkin spice coffee. That's a good task for me. I was very excited about that. So it was actually a little bit difficult to like procure a pumpkin spice coffee. We tried to go to Panera Bread, which was really close, but they actually didn't have any pumpkin spice coffee. And then we went to Dunkin' Donuts, but the line was like in the road. It's always like that. I'm not sure why, but it is always like that. He's such a sweet man. Then he drove me back to Panera, and I was like, okay, I could just get this like cinnamon crunch thingy coffee. And he was like, no, you're getting pumpkin spice. That's what you want. You're getting pumpkin spice. So then we drove all the way to Kroger to go into like the little walk-in Starbucks, because the Starbucks line, it's like the drive-through one, was also ridiculous. After I was able to finally obtain my pumpkin spice coffee and complete that task, we were able to move on to the next, which is one of my favorite things to do. So we headed to the pumpkin patch, and my task at the pumpkin patch was basically to just see all the things I wanted to see. So I wanted to see the goats, I wanted to see the pumpkins, I wanted to get some blueberry jam. I just wanted to do everything that the pumpkin patch had to offer, so that's exactly what we did. First thing I did when I got out of the car is walk straight to the goats. I love the goats. They're one of my favorite things to do, is just to observe goats just being goats. Last year I was able to hold a 3-day-old baby goat, which was absolutely amazing. Just a fantastic experience. Unfortunately, there were no baby goats this year, but there were some goats, and there was also a llama, and there was a cow named Butter, and she was just so sweet. I was able to feed her like clover and stuff from the ground. It was so much fun. Then we went pumpkin hunting. So we walked around the pumpkin patch trying to find some pumpkins. We got 3 pumpkins, one for me, one for him, and then one for Rin, because Rin has to have a pumpkin too. And after we got our pumpkins from the field, I also got some like cute little pumpkins to set around, and then I went looking for my absolute favorite jam. It is a jam made by the Amish. It is blueberry jam, and there's actually like big hunks of blueberry in it. It's so good. And this year, something they didn't really have before, they had a sunflower field, which was beautiful. So we walked down to the sunflower field, we were able to take some pictures and stuff. It was really, really pretty. With our pumpkins procured and all the goats seen and petted and fed, we headed to our next location and the next task. So the next location was actually a little festival that was happening in my downtown area. It was the very first year this festival was going on. It's called the Millstone Festival, and my store was actually set up in a booth outside with everybody else, and it was fantastic. It was a really great day. There were so many like little handcrafting booths and food. There was music. It was just a really good time. I love festivals. And my task for the festival was like a scavenger hunt, so I had to find 3 animals, 2 people wearing fall clothes, and 1 fall snack. I knew we were gonna go visit Rin, who was in the store with my mom, so I was like, oh, there's 1 animal down. And we like to joke, he's just kind of like an amalgamation of a lot of different animals. So I was like, if I don't find any more animals, Rin gets to count for all of them. But there were a lot of very cute little puppies running about, so I was able to find my 3 animals. Finding 2 people in fall clothes was much harder than I thought it was going to be, but it was a very toasty October day. I think it was nearly 80 degrees, I think. So finding that was a little bit harder, but I was able to find 2. And then the last thing, finding the fall snack, I wanted kettle corn. We didn't find the traditional kettle corn that I'm used to, but I found some caramel kettle corn, and it was delicious. So I was very happy that I got that. That was task number 4 complete. And we're going to move on to task number 5, which has become a tradition with us. So instead of carving pumpkins, even the pumpkins that we got at the pumpkin patch, we carved pumpkin pies. And I don't know if it's just because we both like food and candy. It's probably because we both like food and candy. But last year when we were going to go carve pumpkins, we really couldn't find any left. It was very close to Halloween. So I was like, you know what? Let's just carve a pie. And we did, and it was fun, and we really enjoyed it. So that's what we did again this year. The task for the pumpkin pie carving was that I had to carve the cutest pumpkin pie. So my mind, immediately I was like, I'm carving Rin. The next task is for you to use all your creative abilities and carve the best, most cutest pumpkin pie the world has ever seen. You will submit your pumpkin pie to the judges for review. We'll then decide if you can advance to the next task. I'm carving Rin.
That would be yeah.
The cutest pumpkin pie. So that's what I did. I carved out Rin, you know, like eating little bits of pumpkin pie along the way and pieces of candy. He carved a vampire that was upset because his tooth was chipped, and I thought that was pretty cute and clever. He had said that he and Rin were going to be the judges for the pumpkin pie carving cuteness, and I think I won over the judge a little bit because I did carve his likeness. So the next task and next adventure for us was we were going to go to a haunted house. My task for the haunted house, which I'm glad he kind of amended it, was that I wasn't allowed to get scared, which when I tell you that I should be in horror films, not for the acting part, but if you just need like an extra to scream really loud when somebody like pops around a corner, I got you. It's real fear. I don't care if I know it's fake. I am really afraid. So we went to this haunted house, waiting in line, and as we were waiting, like things were like popping up around us. And I just kind of stood like gripping his shirt whenever anything spooky would come by with like my eyes closed, my head down. I guess thinking they wouldn't see me, I don't know. And then we finally got into the haunted house. There were like 3 different sections. The first one, I full screamed so many times it was ridiculous. It wasn't like a little, oh, ooh, ah. It was like an Alfred Hitchcock's psycho scream. It was, I was very scared. They did a good job. The second one we went to was like a little lasery thing where we had to like shoot zombies that were coming after us. And then the third one like kind of told a story as we went through, and there's a bunch of really cool sets and stuff. So we left the haunted house. I completed task number 6, even though I definitely got scared so many times. And we were headed home to task number 7. Task number 7, the final task, is where I was supposed to receive my gift. We drive back home. It's actually pretty late by this point. We were really hungry because we had just had breakfast. We hadn't eaten another meal that day, so we got some McDonald's. We picked up the boy who was being babysat by my mom, and then, oh, the boy is our dog, by the way. I don't have a child. And then we came back home. He had me sit in the TV room. I had to close my eyes. He was kind of shuffling around, doing some stuff outside.
I think it's about time. Got everything set up. Let's see how it goes.
He had me cover my eyes and he led me out to the back porch. He turned me around, and in front of me I saw some string lights that he had put up on the wall. There's a little shelf setting there with the pumpkin pies that we had just carved and the pumpkins that we got from the patch. So he had decorated everything up all nice and fall for me. And then in the middle of it there was a whiteboard with like a whole big thing written on it, and that was my final task. So he stood me there and he walked behind me, and I started reading down the board, and of course I started crying. Of course I started crying. I got like halfway through it and I wasn't even sure if I could finish the entire thing. I was reading down these just incredibly sweet words down to the bottom, and at the very end it said, for my final task all I had to do was turn around and say yes. And when I turned around, he was down on one knee with the ring. I'm gonna cry right now. I said yes. I said yes immediately, maybe a little prematurely, and then he asked, will you marry me? And I said yes again.
She said yes, in case you were wondering.
It was just incredibly, incredibly sweet. It was so very thought out. I couldn't have asked for a better engagement day, a way to do it. These are all the envelopes of the tasks I did throughout the day. Each one of them has a handwritten letter on the inside, and yeah, I'll keep these for the rest of my life. It couldn't have, you know, like, getting engaged on the top of the Eiffel Tower or whatever, I'm sure is beautiful and spectacular and stuff, but like this I thought was absolutely perfect. It was so personal. It was just the two of us, and I thought it was perfect, and I'm just very excited. I spent the rest of the night like bouncing around and like clapping and looking at the shininess of my ring. The ring was the ring that we had tried on at K Jewelers, and I'm so excited. I personally think it is absolutely beautiful. It's so stunning. It's so shiny. So let me get you guys some close-ups and stuff of the ring. I really don't know honestly if the camera is going to be able to pick up how shiny this thing is when the light hits it. It's truly incredible. I am just honestly overjoyed. I had a very hard several years before I ended up meeting my fiance. When we first started hanging out, I was actually like in the worst point I had ever been in my life, and going to see him and hang out with him and just spend time with him was like the only thing that brought me any type of happiness. And I feel very fortunate to be able to spend time with him for the rest of my life, and I'm just incredibly happy, incredibly excited, and I feel very, very lucky. So yeah, that's it. That is my engagement story. Sorry that I kept it from you guys for a little while. I just really wanted to have the ring to be able to show you guys. And I'm probably going to be doing some wedding related content on here. If you guys are okay with that, let me know down below in the comments what you would like to see. I'm sorry this is such a long video. I just wanted to get in all the little details, but that is all I have for you guys today. And I just hope you guys have a lovely, wonderful, fantastic day, and I'll see y'all next time. Bye!